my fellow readers, in this video I'm going to be talking about Who Made Me a Princess, Volume 1. I have not read beyond this because I'm enjoying reading the published ones and the next one isn't out for a while. I will quickly read the back. Once again, this is a translated Korean webtoon. I'm pretty sure you can probably find it on Webtoon translated, but I didn't look, so it's up to you to give it a try. So I'll read the back and then I'll talk about my thoughts on it. The hit Korean webtoon in print in English for the first time. The story of Athanasia, forsaken princess of the Obelian Empire, ends with her execution at the hands of her own father, except did it. Her tragic tale is the plot of the novel The Lovely Princess, but now a modern woman who read the book has just woken up as baby Athanasia herself. Filled with her memories and knowledge of the story she's stuck in. Determined to survive her fate, infant Athanasia embarks on this new life with a plan, avoid attention, and hoard valuables to fund her escape. When her plan goes awry, she suddenly needs to charm her way into the good graces of her father, the beautiful tyrant emperor, so he doesn't kill her again. So there you go. It is an isekai reincarnation story where the woman is born into this novel plot which she has knowledge of, and she has to go about her way and hopefully redoing the story so that she doesn't end up killed. So in the original plot of the novel, aka the backstory that we're introduced to, she is killed by the father after she has a sister that is found that was, and again, this is the supposed tale. We have no idea how it's going to play out in this plot line. But from the past, she was the daughter of the love of the emperor's life. And he had no idea that that woman had a baby. She was kind of whisked away and raised by, I think, like an aunt or something. So it doesn't get revealed to the emperor until years later. And then I don't think she did it, but I think somebody tried to kill her, and Athanasia gets blamed, if I remember correctly, and then the emperor has her executed. I think I'm remembering. But like once she's discovered, his relationship to her completely crumbles. Like it falls to pieces, and he doesn't like her. Not that they have like a super close relationship, so I was going to get there. So she's the daughter of a dancer who the emperor had a relationship with, and she got pregnant, had her. Her name is actually kind of sacred in this world where only people who are destined to become the ruler would carry a name like hers, which is very interesting. But the dancer who had her passed away when she gave birth to her, just after she gave birth to her. And I don't know, it's interesting. So I'll go forward now to where we are with current Athanasia, who again is this isekai reincarnated woman who has knowledge of the story. Like when she realizes that this is the story, and is like, okay, this is the story that I'm in. How can I get it to work? So it's kind of funny. She determines that she needs to save valuables so that as soon as she's old enough, she can run away and start her life over again. So she doesn't have to really meet or interact with the emperor. She can just start her life over. But the maids that are living in the castle manor that she's living in start stealing from the castle because the emperor never goes there. He doesn't check on Athanasia. He doesn't really acknowledge her at all. So there are serving staff that take advantage of this, and they begin like stealing everything, and it's upsetting her because she's like, that's my plan. Now, keep in mind, she's like a toddler when she's realizing this, which it just adds this like very comical element. She also thinks that she's safe from the emperor because in the original novel, she knows that the character does not meet the emperor until she's around 9 years old in this garden. So she thinks she's pretty safe in her regular life. She doesn't have to deal with him because she's terrified to deal with him, as he was the one that executes the character in the book. So we get to a point where she's able to start stealing some of the valuables. Stealing, I mean, technically they're hers. Technically they're the emperor's, but she's the daughter, so, whatever. And she will, like, hide them in bags under her dresses, like, attached to her legs. And then she was wandering out to try to find a good hiding place to store everything until at said time when they're needed, she can go back and retrieve them and then start her life over. So she's wandering and she discovers this new area and then is discovered by a man that she realizes is the emperor. So in this timeline, she has sort of messed things up, but probably not really, in the fact that now she's met the emperor years before she originally would have. I think she's around 4 or 5 at this point, if I'm remembering correctly. So this is years off from when she normally would have. And he is very cold and quiet, but for us as the reader, I don't think he seems as bad as the guy that's going to have her killed in the future. So he takes her back with him. They have, like, tea together. He's trying to get her to, like, talk. Again, he's very aloof, standoffish. She's terrified. She's literally, like, shaking because she doesn't want to step out of line and get executed early, and she's so worried that she will. But he's trying to observe her and decide how he feels about her. I don't know. It's very interesting, this whole relationship that the two of them have. I don't want to go too far into anything else, but I will say that I find this interesting at this point because we don't know how much of the original book story is relevant to this current story and timeline, which is always my big thing with this kind of isekai, is because once you're in that world, again, you seem to have free will and the ability to live your own life, so it's always weird that they'll muddy the waters too much. Like, I understand avoiding certain triggers that happened in the book and wanting it, but it's always weird when people, or the main characters that are in it, like, talk about how they feel for certain that would end that way, and we don't know. And I feel that that's sort of what's going on here, because we believe a lot of information based on that was what the book said. But I'm wondering what the actual truth is going to be. Because I don't know. The relationships seem weird to me, and so I don't know what exactly did happen in the Emperor's past. Like, what his relationship actually was with her mother, but also what his relationship was actually like with the other woman as well. Because that's not really fully revealed to us in the timeline that we have. But it's interesting on how, like, interesting in a maybe semi-disturbing way, how Anthanasia will, like, describe the Emperor and, like, how attractive he is. There's, like, a disturbing element, and I'm like, where's this going? And I'm not sure, because, again, her character is, like, a very small child at this stage. And, yes, it's the consciousness of, like, an adult woman, but it's just, like, what are you getting at here? Where is this going? But of course, she's also still terrified of him, even though she also sees, like, how attractive he is. So, I don't know. I'm interested to see how they're going to write this further. She definitely is his daughter. I mean, I would assume. Unless there's, like, another prince brother or something that looks just like him, because she has his eyes. The blue eyes that they have, that are kind of, like, gem-like, are supposed to only be members of the royal family. And I think the sister has them too. We haven't seen her in this book yet, but that's what it said from the book world, is that she also had them. So it's definitely, all right, I'm going to say it seems likely that it's not going to be a twist where, like, he's not the dad. I'm hoping it just turns into them developing a sweet relationship, like her changing him, because that's what's supposed to have happened with the sister, is that the sister was able to, like, soften his heart. Obviously not toward her, but in general, like, she gained his trust and everything. And there are other characters that are coming into play, but I'm just saying that from a reader standpoint, there's points of it that seem kind of awkward or, like, weird, where I was like, would you really say it like that? I don't know. Like, I'm just like, that's a weird vibe to throw out here. Like, talking about your shirtless dad, because it's still the character's dad. That's my only, like, problem that I've seen in this so far, where I'm just like, where are you going with this? That's stepping over boundaries. So I look forward to seeing where this develops, how their relationship develops. When will the sister come into play? Are they going to do a time jump at some point? Are they going to do a time jump, or is it going to stick with, like, young child and father, like, doing stuff that, you know, eventually she'll get to reveal the story of what happened between her parents, or, like, why is he the way that he is? What was the deal with the sister's mom and the dad? Like, I don't know. I don't know where I want this to go, or for how long, but I'm kind of enjoying it for now. This was a very thick first volume. Like, this was a lot to get through, but I liked it enough. Like, I found the characters interesting and the story engaging, to where I'm very much looking forward to reading more and finding out what happens, because I'm very interested in the backstory. And it's just because there are times with the dad where we get glimpses of his memories of, like, her mom. We haven't seen so much about the other relationships, so I'm just very curious about how that whole thing went down, and what his feelings were. Like, who was he actually in love with, if he was at all, and what was that impact for him? I don't know. I'm very interested in the whole thing. And then even the bits with, like, the poison and how that execution happened. Again, it's interesting because we're at a point where she would technically be rewriting the whole thing, right? Like, right now they're doing stuff that never existed in the book world of this. So how much will we get for the future? I don't know. As you can see, I'm very invested and I want to know more. I'm very intrigued, and I probably have forgotten bits and pieces, but yeah, I'm intrigued enough to want to know more, and I love the art. This one has gorgeous art, and I love the frilly dresses and the cute eyes and the cute food and and the terror that the emperor emits. Yeah, I don't know. I like a lot of the other characters too. This is her little interim knight. Yeah, I don't know. I'm enjoying this a great deal, and I would recommend reading it. I can't wait to see what happens and, like, how all these relationships, like, puzzle out, because I don't know what the end goal for this will be. I mean, obviously we don't want her to die, but I'm hoping that she gets recognized as the next ruler or something, and the relationship is better. So we'll see. So far, I'm liking it. Maybe I'll update future after I've read more. I don't know. But that's it for this video. Until next time. Bye.